with me Matt Glover from AMX Corporation. They have been recently purchased by Harman, one of the larger business concerns globally, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that. And I also have Chelsea Fitzgerald, who has been one of my mentees, and she is a recent hire for the AMX Corporation. It's great to work with Matt. Matt is the chair of our Business and Industry Leadership Team, and he has been a loyal supporter for several years for us at this point. And I think you will find it very interesting how he interfaces with us, and hopefully that will come out in this discussion as we go forward. And so I'm going to sit down and facilitate the discussion and go from here. Matt, in his position as the chair of the Business and Industry Leadership Team, actually sits on our National Visiting Committee for our National Center as well. And one of the things we've learned a long time ago to do for the National Center is we bring out some students that are representative of our program, not just from Collin, but from our partner colleges as well. And so this year I decided to invite Chelsea as one of the representative students because she's all excited, and not only is she excited about what we do, she actually knows what she's doing too, which is cool. Anyway, long story short, I kind of whispered in Matt's ear and I said, you know, you probably want to watch Chelsea because you might want to consider hiring her in a couple of years. Thinking, hey, she's just in the middle of CCNA. I think at that point you might have been in CCNA 3, maybe?
Yeah, it was 3.
And that was all in terms of technical courses. She was getting an AS degree, and you know, she was just in her 3rd technical course. And so I said, hey, you know, keep an eye on her, see what you think. Well, after the National Visiting Committee was over, what'd you say, Matt?
I needed somebody then, actually, not wait 3 years or 2 years. I needed passionate resources that were energetic about the technology and really wanted to make a meaningful difference for an organization, regardless what state they were in their education.
Yeah. So, roll forward, 2 years turned into 2 months. So, Chelsea, what did we do to help you get ready for the hiring process?
Oh my gosh, there was a lot. Like we had a crazy crash course over it. I mean, one of the things, the first step was to build a resume. Now, I had made a resume for my high school for an English assignment my senior year. So I had to freshen that up and put everything up to date. That was a big part. And then I presented to Anne and also
career coaches.
Yeah, the career coaches, and they would say, okay, well, what direction are you leading in? Like when you say this, what are you speaking about? Are you speaking about communication? Like what kind of skill? And so that way, it kind of narrowed it down, and it gave me the fine points of what I was supposed to do, and really helped me out there. Another thing that we did was we did test, not really test, but like
mock interviews.
Mock interviews. That's exactly it. So we would sit around a room, and the best part was we were in rolly chairs. And I personally twisty chairs. Yeah, I personally love rolly chairs and twisty chairs because I like to do this. I don't know if y'all do this as well, probably not, but I love it. And so yeah, we were in our mock interview. Actually, it was before the mock interview. So like everyone came and sat around, and I'm just like twisting. I'm not, I'm just twisting about, and Anne's like, you seriously just need to stop. Like that is not okay. Not before the interview, not during the interview, and not after the interview. Stop. So and another thing, I'm crazy with my hands. So she was like, okay, we had to talk about posture first. Like before we even got to the interview, it was like, how are you going to hold yourself and conduct yourself? So sit straight, don't twist the chair, and keep your hands down. That was really hard. Yes.
Would you have known before this that would have been very distracting during the interview?
I don't think I would have known I was doing it. Because I'm not aware. I'm just kind of like going about my conversation.
She's not aware that she's doing it right now.
I'm not. I know. Just like, hey. Yeah. So but it pointed out a lot of things that I didn't know I did. And another thing that was told me that it's not necessarily something I do, but I never thought about I mean, I very well could have done it, was I wear rings. And Anne was like, if you have a habit of like twisting your rings or playing with them, then don't wear them. Like, don't wear them at all. And so it was really helpful. And then after that, we got to the questions, which a lot of that was wording. So in the resume, you have to, how are you wording this? What is it coming across to other people as? Same thing as speaking. So when you're speaking to someone about your skills, make sure that you're careful about the words that you choose as well. So that was one of the great things that I got out of the mock interviews, and just conducting yourself, making sure that you're, and my hair, yeah, because my hair was 15 different colors, and Anne was like, no, like, go buy a box of hair dye and get yourself under control. So yeah, back to normal colors. So.
We also talked about listening to the questions, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, and making sure that you understood, and it was okay. One of the things that, because I'd worked at like part-time jobs, things along those lines, so one of the things that I never realized about an interview was that if you don't understand what they're asking, just ask them to ask it another way. Like, I think people feel a lot like in interviews, you have so much pressure to just understand all the time. It's okay to not know, so if they ask you a question, say, can you reword that for me? Like, what are you actually asking? Just to make sure that you're on the same page, because you don't want to go off in some random direction. So that was one thing that I really got out of that as well.
What did we talk about in terms of dress?
Again, typical 19-year-old girl, right? So
She's
usually,
only 20 now.
I am, yeah. No, seriously. And so I wear, like the hipster jeans and like the tank tops with like a cover over it, and my hair in 15 different directions, and black eyeliner. I think I just told you that like a month ago. That like on the weekends, that's what I wear, is still like my cat eye, dark, makeup. And Anne was like, no, none of that. Like, you have to wear something nice, cover yourself, dress pants, and nice shoes. Don't wear moccasins. Those are my other weakness. Moccasins. I love them. They're so comfortable. Hair down. Don't wear it up in a ponytail. Don't wear like anything crazy. No bows. And decent makeup. Don't just like put some black powder on the sink and throw your face into it. So that was another thing, was just how to make yourself look, composure, and yes.
Why were you so receptive?
Why was I so receptive? Oh my goodness. Well, Anne is in a position that's, she knows how to hold herself. I look up to her. She's my mentor, and I feel like if she's gotten herself here, like, there's no reason to not listen. Like, it wouldn't make sense not to, right? Like.
Okay, I love her. I paid her for that.
But my parents, my mom's a tech writer, and my dad also works in IT. So they hold themselves very well, and they dress nicely, and they're the same way, and they always expected me to be that way as well. So.
But you didn't listen to them.
No, not at all. Well, and when I worked at my part-time jobs, obviously I wore a uniform, but at AMX, we don't have a uniform. You dress the way you're supposed to dress. You're expected to be an adult. So, when it came down to actually getting into the business world, it was like, okay, well, these people have gotten so far and they've done so well, so they must have maybe done something right along the way. Like, I don't know anything about it. I've never been involved in it before, so maybe I should listen.
Okay. So let's skip over to Matt. Matt, why Chelsea? What did she have that attracted you to wanting to interview her over somebody else?
The things that stuck out to me about Chelsea was her attitude, her tenacity and excitement. She's passionately excited about technology. What's even funnier about it, and the thing that really stood out in the interview that I had with her prior to even thinking about, this is my interview when I was chair, and you were interviewing her in front of everybody, was she was passionate about art. She wanted to be, I think it was a 3rd grade art teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, so she wanted to be a 3rd grade art teacher, and her dad had convinced her, hey, just take this Cisco class, try it out, see if you like it, and if you like it, you know, I'll help you through these college courses. And as she said earlier, she didn't like the first 2 classes, and it wasn't until her 3rd that she really started to go, wow, it's clicking for me. And then that passion and excitement. I'm not sure you can teach it. I don't know how to teach passion and excitement, but I can tell you that it was her attitude that was very compelling for me. Not only that, but to liven up the spirits of even my own team. And it's a worldwide team, so what a great opportunity for me. And when I saw her, and then when Ann had whispered in my ear, you know, this is a girl you should probably look at, I thought, wow, this might be a great fit. So I said, great, I have an opening now. Let's see what we can do to not only help her continue her student career, but then get her a jump start in her professional career. So it just really worked out.
And you told me that, in fact, I told you when we went out and looked at that position that it was requiring a bachelor's degree.
Yeah. So there's an inherent problem that we have as educators for all of you guys and business guys like myself, is that at no point would I ever be able to see Chelsea's resume. It would never get to me. How a normal hiring process goes is we have a recruiter. The recruiter gets requirements from somebody who reports to me, so it doesn't even get to me at that point. They will work out the details. A flood of resumes will come in for that position, and then once the resumes are in, then the recruiter will cull through them and basically go through what I call a check the box process. And they would essentially go, okay, do they have a bachelor's degree? Check. Do they have this? Check. Do they have that? Check. You know, and just kind of go through this process. And of the, say, well, I'll tell you exactly how many resumes came in for Chelsea's position. 55 resumes came in for Chelsea's position. And most of them, all of them were way more qualified than Chelsea was in the process. And some of these guys had master's degrees who were looking for this position. But again, it was the attitude that was the differentiator. Anyway, the recruiter will go through and she'll check off, yes, they have this, yes, they will have that. And then once they get to the, say, the top 5 or 6 resumes, they'll send those resumes to the hiring manager. And then that hiring manager will go through the process of saying, okay, well, these are the ones I want to interview, or these are the ones I don't. And then once that process happens, eventually, at some point, if they make it to the in-person interview, then I would be asked to come in and interview very late in the process. Mm-hmm. So there would be no opportunity if not for this two things. If not for this organization, and for me understanding that a bachelor's degree is not necessary for many of the positions that are out there, and the stackable certificates is a clear indicator of performance and the passion and excitement behind what they want to do and how they can do it. Those are the things that were the differentiators for me. And that also, by the way, led me to go down to HR and say, stop putting bachelor's degrees on everything. Start putting associate's degrees, and here are the 2 or 3 certificates that I need them to have in order for them to achieve their goals. But that's one of the challenges that I think industry-wide that we need to overcome as a group. Now, what I really need was a Cisco engineer. But because she was still in training, I built a project coordinator role so that she could engage with all of the different aspects of technology and with all of the different aspects of business, so that she could then form where does she really fit in. Is it application development? Is it engineering? Is it software? Is it hardware? Is it project management? What are those things that make her passionate?
Hiring somebody
That's a great question. It's both. So me personally, I focus only on the soft skills because by the time they get to me, they've already gone through the technical interviews. So my primary passion on interviews is about honesty, integrity, character, honor, teamwork. These are very important words, and if I'm going to add somebody to my team, I need to know that they can be, they can operate in a righteous manner regarding those elements, because the quickest way you can get fired from my team is to dishonor the team or lie. It's quite simply that easy. I think one of the challenges, because there have been several students not from this program but from another series of colleges where these kids came out of school and they had a different attitude than Chelsea did, and their attitude was more of I'm entitled to this. This is my right to be here. You know, the one thing that I would say about people, especially your students, that you guys are all of you guys are dedicating your time to making sure the success of the students. If there was one thing that I would have you guys think about, is how to get them to have the passion and excitement like Chelsea does for succeeding. And one thing, and you know, Chelsea didn't pay me to say this, but at no point in her time with my organization has she ever felt entitled to anything. Actually, it's quite the opposite. She feels honored to be in the presence of those that already know. And she emulates that with everything that she does. So I think that the humility and the passion and excitement are things that I would love to be able to spend time mentoring other students to do, because that makes the difference. That makes all the difference in the world. And my guess is the other students that you're going to go through and talk to today or hear from today have that same level of passion and excitement, which is why they were selected to be here and not another student. I think the big thing that I've seen different here is that we're teaching them the trade through getting certificates that they can put on their resume so those HR folks can check their freaking boxes. And we can get these really great, talented, younger students real jobs that make significant amounts of money for them to springboard their career. Because I can guarantee you, Chelsea is making a lot more money than she would ever be making as a third grade teacher. And that's no offense to third grade teachers, it's just the truth.
Thank you, Matt and Chelsea. It's fun to work with both of you.
Thank you.